Hi everyone, we're here with our second Fireside chat and we're excited to tell you all what our cabinet has been up to for the month of November and the beginning of December. My name is Hannah Taylor and I'm the ASCSU president for this year.
Hi, if you don't know me, I'm Noah Schindler. I'm the ASCSU vice president for this year. And we really just want to keep you updated as we go into this second semester as spring approaches and kind of the changes that you might be expecting and what we've done this past semester.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're really excited to announce that we have a new executive administration site. It's taylorschindler.com. And what we'll be putting there is all of our fireside chats and then also some of our cabinet reports and updates. And then we'll also have different plugins to contact our cabinet members. And it's just an opportunity for us to give you all a platform to know exactly what we're up to. We're going to be posting budget updates as well. And so we're really excited about that. And so you all should check it out.
You know, this COVID pandemic has really put us at an odd, especially when it comes to communicating with you as students. So this past November, we tabled in the plaza just to kind of try and get some input on what you guys wanted to see changed around campus. And it was overwhelmingly U+2, housing affordability, a better academic experience on campus, which I would argue has, we've worked towards that in some capacity as we've now got the pass-fail grading system and the withdrawal moved to today, actually, December 11th.
Yeah, so now I'm going to talk a little bit about our plan for winter break. So we have several cabinet members continuing projects over winter break, and we're hoping to create a solid timeline, which will be posted on our new administration website for you all to see, that have a list of all of our projects and what we're expecting the timeline to look like to be able to finalize some of those projects. So the mentor program that we'll be discussing later, and then also like our U+2 project, our updates as far as getting a accountability program on our website for apartment complexes in Fort Collins. We're all going to be working on that during winter break, and hopefully we'll get some progress to be able to go into next semester fully prepared, especially since we got a late start. So now I'm going to talk a little bit about our U+2 progress. So we filed in the month of November our notice of intent for a ballot petition initiative to change U+2 to add one additional person. So we basically have only 5 weeks to get 3,280 signatures by January 6th to get it on the April 6th election ballot. So the issues that are coming up is that we have a limited timeline. Typically you get 60 days, but we have to get that in at least 90 days in advance before the election. So that's already an obstacle. But then also because Larimer County went into level red, we're having issues as far as a lot of other businesses are closing down. So finding enough people to gather signatures has been challenging. And even though the number is 3,280, typically, we need to get about 7,800 because based off of previous ballot petitions, the city told us that about 35% to 50% of signatures are invalid. And so we have to aim for a much higher number, and so that's an obstacle as well. So because of Larimer County moving into Code Red, we're advocating for the city to put it on the ballot by a vote. And so not voting on the issue of U+2 itself, but putting it on the ballot so that we don't have to send cabinet members, student volunteers, and community member volunteers out to possible exposure, and then also during the winter time. And so we're working on that right now. And I also have a timeline to show you all what our plan for U+2 looks like, if we can show that on the screen to guide you all through. So basically, if we follow through with the collecting signature plan, we have the month of December to do that. And like I said, January 6th is the date that we have to get that into the city clerk's office. And then after getting that into the city clerk's office, the council has the opportunity to decide whether they want to vote on it themselves or if they want to put it on the ballot for the public to decide. And so if we don't go forward with gathering signatures and do not get enough, then that's why we're advocating for the city council to call a vote to get it put onto the ballot without us having to put students in a situation for possible exposure. So then moving forward, after that vote happens and it gets put on the ballot, if that's the way that it goes, we have the months of February, March, and the beginning of April until April 6th to campaign and raise awareness on this issue and advocate like our messaging and story for why this housing ordinance should change. And then April 6th, the Fort Collins local election day. So ideally, that's when the Fort Collins community will make a decision regarding changing U+2 to something like Me+3, adding an additional person, and then we also want to get this conversation started. So that's the timeline that we're looking at right now. So the messaging that we are going about as far as this issue goes is really raising awareness on the history of the U+2 housing ordinance. A lot of people don't know, but it started in the 1960s, and it was part of an anti-immigrant sentiment because when Fort Collins was an agriculture town, a lot of immigrants came in and were packing houses. And so community members in Fort Collins were advocating against immigrants being able to come into the city and do this. And so U+2 was passed as a form of their anti-immigrant sentiment at the time. And as it's developed in 2006 or 2007, I believe, the ordinance changed from a criminal law to a civil. And so it was enforced on a civil basis, and that's when the city hired a team to go personally investigate. And so they don't just follow reports that community members make, rather they personally go out and investigate. And that's when students were specifically targeted at this, and so it's kind of evolved over the years as a discriminatory policy, but changed the populations that it impacts. And then also, another point of messaging for us is that Fort Collins is a space that prides themselves on being conservative. So, prides themselves on like conservation within our space of land, and also being able to preserve land for like the purpose of having open space. And so the less residents within a household limits the opportunity for so the less people that are allowed in a household, the more housing that is needed in Fort Collins. And so that's when we're going to start seeing more construction projects and less of a view of the foothills. And I don't think a lot of the community members want that. And so if we're going to make an effort to create more open space in Fort Collins, then we also need to look at changing this policy that limits the amount of people that are allowed per household. So that's our progress so far in the U+2 initiative and our plan for winter break and next semester.
Yeah, and actually in our call today with Joyce and Blanche, we discussed the irony of wanting to preserve land but also keep the U+2 housing ordinance in order. I mean, it's quite clear that if you move to right-size housing, it opens up a lot more space within the city and the already built buildings here. The less we have to encroach on that open space, the better. But on a different note, we have been working with Ramride and Lyft. Right now, we have a partnership with Lyft. And you get half off your ride anywhere in the country. And we're looking into ways to move further into a program in a partnership with them to try and get extremely discounted, if not free rides here and there, the best that we can.
Yeah, so we're really excited about that. And our academics department is continuing work on a mentor program. And so we're currently working with members of CSU administration to edit this program proposal, and so that we will be ready to launch it at the beginning of spring semester. And we're really working on how we can help first generation and transfer students with this program. And so that's in development right now, and we're hoping to launch this program so that we can start pairing mentors and mentees at the beginning of next semester, and hopefully relieve some of that, some of the academic struggles that have caused by COVID, like things that have occurred because of COVID, and then also just in general, some struggles that happen while trying to navigate academics at CSU. So we're really excited about that.
Our health department also finished their flu shot initiative with the CSU Health Network, which went really well. If they can pop it up on the screen, we can show some of them getting their flu shots. Most people have ignored the fact that the flu is still around because coronavirus has taken so much of our mental capacity recently, but it is still extremely important that you get your flu shot and stay healthy.
Yeah. And our health department's also working on, over winter break, a distribution plan for thermometers. And so we're looking at putting in a mass order of thermometers so that we can distribute those to the students that need one. And we're working on the distribution plan over winter break so that we'll be able to be ready to launch that at the start of spring semester.
For those who don't know, SFRB is the Student Fee Review Board. We recently, what's the word I'm looking for? Ratified 7 more of our members. The board is 19 in total, and they control all the student fee allocations. So when a fee area wants an increase, they come to that board and pitch us, and we tear apart their financials to make sure that that money is going to actual programs that are supporting students. To continue on the Pacesetter scholarship, there has been some delays because of COVID, but our committee met yesterday for the last time, and we have narrowed down our applicants. That will be announced on Monday. It was really, really hard to get this applicant pool big enough because of COVID. It's already a struggle. But to make that better in the future, over winter break, I'll be working towards moving that into the greater CSU scholarship pool, so that we can get all those students who may be pace setters and don't know about the scholarship to apply.
Yeah,
if you want to talk about the intern program.
Yeah, absolutely. So we have a couple of really cool opportunities coming up to get involved in ASCSU if you're interested. So our Director of Campus Engagement, Taylor Milson, will be launching our intern program, where there will be an intern paired with every single executive department. So if you're interested in applying for cabinet in upcoming years and you want to get involved with ASCSU, this is a really great opportunity to do so. And then also Student Fee Review Board, if you're interested in looking at options and joining that, make sure to email Noah. And then also we'll be pretty soon hiring the elections committee. And so if you're interested in how the student government elections are run, I would really encourage you all to apply for that. And then also recently, a justice on the Supreme Court position opened up. And so if you're interested in applying, definitely go to the ASCSU website. But I think that's all we have for today and covering what we've been up to for the month of November and early December. So thank you all for listening.
And enjoy your winter break. Be safe and stay healthy, and we hope to see you again in the spring.